Welcome back to the dark depths of the psyche, where you are hiding and seeking in the realm of space and time for all things Star Trek. I am talking about us here in the Captain's Quadrant. I'm Captain Joe Dove, and with me, as always, is Lieutenant Jason reporting for duty.
G'day, sir.
How are you? How is sunny Australia?
Yeah, doing good, doing good. Just settling into the new kind of
I,
holodeck at the moment. So,
I love
yeah,
the colorful vibe.
yeah, just settling into the new office. Still got to install a computer and all the other bits and pieces. So yeah,
Hey,
but even though I've had a busy week, I absolutely got a chance to see this latest episode.
same. And I have another podcast called The Disc Dungeon, and I was the officiant, the minister who married my co-host to his beautiful wife. And,
Fantastic.
I actually did last episode in Los Angeles, where my anniversary took place, and I'm back here in my home where it is comfortable and my chair is squishy, perfectly fitted to my captain's body.
Fantastic.
Um,
Fantastic.
so let's just get into it. I am going to start out with the episode
Summary.
Here we go. Picard must face the ghosts of his past when he and his crew are attacked by a new incarnation of an old enemy. Seven and Raffi face Jurati in a final showdown. This is episode 9, Hide and Seek. We are coming to the end of the season.
Second to last episode, that was.
Second to the last episode. And it wrapped everything up. And I was sorely disappointed.
Yeah, I gotta say they're gonna have some issues. I think there's gonna be a few more cons this week for me than pros.
Yeah. Let's get into it. Pros and cons.
All right. Yeah.
Painful.
You want to go first? You want me to go first?
You go first. I always do it first. I feel like.
Look, yeah, there were some resolutions to a storyline here that felt like really like they shortchanged us quite a bit.
Mhm.
Before we get into that though, some of the things that bothered me, the Seven and Raffi scenes.
Right.
I hated that scene where, they do the whole that typical trope in Hollywood where they explain we've got 13 soldiers, we've got 6 bullets,
Mhm.
That real kind of cheesy trope.
Right.
Yeah, I just felt like why would they be running into certain death at this point?
Right. For what?
I didn't see what was the point of that. They knew they weren't going to make it. So why wouldn't they? Star Trek's always to me about using your head more than your brawn.
Right.
So, and it's just
a cerebral series. Yeah.
It seemed like just a dumb decision all the way around.
Yeah.
How Picard found the entrance seemed a bit like, okay, he's now just right at the right moment, remembering
that key.
The lack of Q in this episode is a fundamental part of this plot, and he's nowhere to be seen in this episode.
Not even he's supposed to be the whole backbone of the entire series too.
Yeah.
And he only made an appearance in the last episode, and that was very brief.
Yeah, so I'm really kind of shocked at that.
Yeah.
What else? I mean, like
I felt. You go ahead.
Yeah, go on.
I felt that the severity of what happened with Rios and his love interest was also flat. I felt that they were building onto something that went nowhere, and his purpose in the episode, though was supposed to come in as the superhero at the end to save the day, also fell flat.
Yeah.
I just feel like they kind of rushed it up. Let's just wrap this up and be done with it.
Well, one of the biggest concerns we had in the halfway through the series was the lack of necessity for that doctor to be in the, and as Jason rightly pointed out to us, that doctor is playing the role of the from the same person in Star Trek 4, Voyage Home.
Right. The love interest for Captain Kirk.
Absolutely.
Right. Yeah.
So, but remember that he got off the bus and then that was the end of the storyline. If you remember halfway through the series. And I'm like, oh, well, what a waste that is. And when she came back a couple of weeks ago, I'm going, okay, they're going in deeper with her.
Right.
No, they're not. They basically brought him on to say, hey, look at this fancy technology, look at this ship, and catch you later.
Yeah, exactly. You can't
And
come to the
that's
future with me, and I can't stay here in the past. I
yeah.
gotta go. I gotta go save this old man that's a robot.
Another thing that bothered me was now we have holographic space levels.
Oh, that
And that was like such a cheat to the and disrespectful for the emotional journey that you'd been selling us from Raffi.
right,
Mourning his death.
right.
Like mourning, and then you bring him back as a hologram.
Yeah,
Like, and then Raffi seems to be totally fine.
yeah.
Like her
Oh,
emotions
thank God
are,
you got
oh,
you got
you're
to.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah. You may be not
Oh.
real, but are still, it's all
I'm
good.
connected. Yeah, everything's fine.
Oh, and
All my emotional damage is healed. This patched it up. Thank you, hologram.
yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
The whole
This is amazing. This is if you notice, we've been
yeah.
doing. This is our 10th episode because
Oh
we're an
yes, because we
episode
did a
ahead.
previous show, didn't
Right,
we?
we
Yeah.
did a previous show. Right, this is our 10th episode, and most of them we've either been mainly pro with small cons. This is the
Yeah.
first time that we've been con.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I got to
what?
say, because I will say one pro, though. I am really liking the whole Borg Queen kind of storyline. Except I like the concept that she's going to try to start and build a new Borg.
Right.
That's going to be kind of helpful. But to get to that point was so immediate, so quick. It
was underwhelming. It was like,
yeah,
you wrecked havoc on the batteries of several cars, and you broke a window, and then you ended up in this area of San Francisco or California, wherever they were, and we had this huge attack, and you got Dr. Soon to facilitate people to attack. And then he was just like a cheesy villain that really had no purpose.
80s villain. He was literally, I thought I was watching Die Hard. It was such a one note. Dr. Sung, who they had built up to have this complex kind of thing going on, they turn him into an 80s villain.
Yeah. It was so underwhelming.
And it was.
And he had some great lines during the series. And Brent, I think, did a great job up until this point. So
he was just the grimacing bad guy.
Yeah. I'm not sure whoever directed this episode.
I think it's more like who wrote it. The writers who would have been responsible for it have really come up with an episode that is the weakest of the season, to be frank.
Absolutely.
It is because the problem is that we've been investing emotionally as viewers over these previous episodes, and then you've kind of delivered something to us that feels disingenuous to what we'd previously seen. So it's disappointing, but you don't really know what they're going to do next with it. So, it's a good time. They're gone.
I mean, it's going to be weird because we're supposed to have the end in the beginning, because that's how this ended up. So. And since the Borg Queen took the ship, how are they going to go back to the future?
Yeah, I don't understand how that scene contextually will work, but I'm sure they've written a way around it. I'm sure, that's how, like you said, that's how it'll end. Maybe the whole idea is this whole storyline's become cyclical, like keeps happening again, but then that's problematic. It turns it more like to a Twilight Zone ending than it does a Picard like show. I don't know, but we are kind of talking future speculations.
Yes. Well, I mean, I was expecting a very dark wrap up for this season because they're going to bring the old cast back, but now I'm wondering if they just scrap this season and then do something with the cast, the original Next Gen cast.
I think they might just end the storyline and move on. What about, I know we're talking future speculations. One other thing I did want to touch on was 7 of 9 becoming a Borg again.
I felt that was cheesy.
Yeah. I felt
unnecessary. And it went right. Like, why does she have the exact same spot?
Again, we've had a whole season of her becoming, out of her shell, being free for the first time, and her not really wanting to go back to becoming a Borg, having a bit of fear around her. And you pay off that character by going, nah, you got it back, and you just have to accept it.
Right.
But I mean, moving future speculation, it's clearly now that oh, by the way, the tentacles, like at the end.
Right, where she suddenly got them.
Coming out. Now, I could be wrong because it may have been in some material I've never known of, but prior to Picard, have we ever known Borg to have that ability? Like
No.
the Queen to have that ability?
No.
That's
all,
a new thing.
Yeah.
So what I don't understand.
I know in the beginning of the season she had it because she utilized it.
So how did you, which I bought into because for me I'm like, oh, we're seeing a future version of Borg that evolve.
Yeah.
But now she's got it in the beginning. I feel like that doesn't kind of make sense because obviously now that's kind of been the cat's out of the bag. We know who's behind the mask as the Borg Queen.
Right.
We know all that now. It's been uncovered. But there's some leaps in new Borg tech that we haven't seen before. And that being those tentacles.
Yeah.
You're right. Moving forward, though, how are they going to...
Well, they have to close. The only thing left open is the Q piece.
Right.
How
Which
is
will
that
get them
going to
off
be
the
solved?
planet, right?
But it has to do. They have to deal with it in a way where he has to completely lose his abilities. And they did leave a new mystery. This is the only pro for the episode was, there's two Picards.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, it actually wasn't too bad. I like to see how
that part
play that out.
Yeah, that was the only pro for this week. But the future speculation is there's going to have to be some type of solve to not only the beginning and the end issue, but the Q issue. Like, what is it exactly that is happening with Q? Because there's so much going on. He's losing his power. He's becoming unhinged. He's dying, basically. And how is that going to cultivate? Is this going to be like underwhelming as well? Are we going to underutilize John DeLance in this last hurrah with Q?
I'm terrified of we get to a certain point and he just gets his powers back and resets everything, which usually in the past in Star Trek's been, they've done that, but they've done that very, very well. It's not, but I just feel the way that they've left us now at this point in the series, if he does click and fixes everything, that's just going to compound on the issues we already have with this episode.
Yeah. And
leave a sour taste, personally, in my mouth.
Same.
Of the end of the series.
Yeah.
So, which has been a very good series up to point.
Everything.
I've enjoyed it.
Yeah. The
far
last
more
episode,
than the first season.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And unfortunately, I don't know if you are on Reddit or not, but they're trying to compare this to Nemesis, and I think this is far superior to Nemesis.
Oh, yeah.
As far as writing and overall summary, but
understanding the material. I mean, Nemesis' biggest flaw was the director of Nemesis wasn't a Star Trek fan. Didn't know Star Trek as such. And that was Stuart Baird who directed that, and he had no idea. So. That's what worked against that film. And these guys know what they're doing. I mean, the amount of references and callbacks that we've gotten throughout the season.
Yeah, I mean, they did a great job.
Yeah. I've really, really enjoyed that. So
but they just have to give us a good ending, and I hope
that's my only speculation and hope. To be honest with you, Joe, is that we get a good ending to a good series.
Yeah, not something that's going to make me forget about this episode.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or enhance this episode by explaining a few things that we go back and look at this episode and go, but now we know this.
Right.
That is actually quite cool.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's going to happen, but
we'll see. Hope so.
Yeah.
Hope so. That's our future speculation.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. I hope next week is going to, we're going to pull double duty next week, sir.
We are pulling double duty next week. Absolutely. We're going to be moving. We got the final episode, which I'm shocked that actually the streaming service has even done that.
Why would they overlap?
Normally, you would think it would be common sense to go, all right, that's finished now. Now we've got Strange New Worlds. Excuse me, but who's complaining when you get a double dose next week?
Yeah, that's going to be great.
So
I mean, they did do that.
It'll be the final episode of this, and we can't confirm yet. Well, hopefully we'll have a special guest or two. for the last episode of Picard, and hopefully that also transitioned into Strange New Worlds. So
yes,
there'll definitely be two of us, but you never know. Hopefully we can get some more Star Trek people on as well.
Yeah, we'll beam them right all in.
Absolutely. Fantastic.
Well, I think that's going to wrap this up, unless you have anything else to say, sir.
No, it's just
we're hoping for the best. Yeah. Bring it on, bring it good. That is going to wrap it up. It's a little bit of a short one because there's a little bit of a downturn in the series, but we still love it because we love Star Trek and you love Star Trek, and that's why you're here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for downloading. Thank you for watching. But please don't just end it there. Why not hit your comm badge and give us a like? And do one better. Beam on up to that subscribe button and click it and become a new watcher into the great vast universe of Star Trek and the wondrous world of Captain's Quadrant. You can have a lot of fun with us in visual sense by hitting up on our YouTube channel and checking out Spectrum Sanctum and subscribing there. Join the 14 others who are doing so. And I just wanted to take a second to shout out a certain individual who did a lot of commenting last week. He wrote a small Bible for us.
Oh, yes.
Yes. And that's Michael Strathmore. I just wanted to give you a big shout out. Thank you so much for your in-depth views and your comments. Engage with us. We love hearing from you. So
that was fantastic.
That was great.
108 points.
He went in and he was on point.
And I think I agreed with 99% of them, to be honest with you. Very detailed. A lot more in-depth than what maybe we do on the show. If we went as in-depth as that, it would be a 5-hour show.
Exactly,
But fantastic. And thank you for your compliments and all that kind of thing. And keep watching. And
tell your friends.
Actually, I'll be very interested if Michael wants to comment on this week's show and what he thought. Maybe.
Yeah, because this one was
he on the same page or was he not? But that doesn't just go for Michael, obviously. As you said, Captain, goes for anyone out there who's watching the show. Comment
below.
Engage.
All right. Make it so.